Hey guys, Julie here, and today's video is going to be a bit sad because it has to do with the unfortunate truth about owning guinea pigs, or any pets really, which is that they are only with us for a short amount of time and eventually we will have to say goodbye to them. Which really sucks because, you spend so much time with these pets and you take care of them every single day, and in return you get to learn about their huge personalities and they become a part of your family. My eldest guinea pig, Reese, passed away recently, and it took me a little while before I felt okay enough to film this video, but I wanted to make this video because I felt like it was important, especially because I know that there's a lot of people out there who have lost pets in the past and are grieving, because it's really hard, you build a bond with these animals, so when it's time for them to go, it is really upsetting. So I just wanted to make this video to talk about Reese and how he passed away and basically how I deal with losing a pet, because I know that everybody deals with it differently, so maybe this will help someone out. So I got Reese when he was around 3 years old, and I had him for a little over 3 years. So he was about 6 years old. He was an older boy, but he was a relatively healthy pig for the most part. During that last year, he did have a couple of health issues pop up here and there. He had diarrhea, he had a respiratory infection, he had a problem with his eyes for a brief moment. At one point his tummy was hurting him, so he wasn't really eating that well. But then he got better, obviously, after taking him to the vet and getting him the proper treatment. And after that, he was doing really well. He was eating and drinking normally, he was going to the bathroom properly, his weight was pretty consistent and at a good level. He would come out of his little house whenever I would walk into the room and he would say hi to me. He was very vocal and loud when it came to asking me for food. But he did look like an older boy, and there would be times when I was watching him and I would get upset because I could tell that he was getting older just because he wasn't as active as he used to be, and his fur wasn't as shiny as it once was. But apart from that, he seemed completely fine. And then 2 days before he passed away on a Monday. So the Saturday before he passed away, I was giving him hay and I saw him stand up on his 2 back legs, and then he kind of tumbled over and it looked like he lost his balance. And at the time I didn't really think anything of it, because I thought, okay, he just lost his balance and fell over a little bit. But then the next day, on Sunday, it happened again, but this time he was just walking around the cage and he stumbled a little bit. It basically looked like he couldn't really support his weight that well. And when I saw that, that's when I knew something is definitely wrong. But because it was a Sunday and my vet is closed on the weekends, I had to wait until the next day, which was Monday. And I was going to call the vet on Monday and make an appointment. But then Monday rolls around and I go to feed him in the morning, and I see him just sprawled out, laying down in the cage in a very weird position. It didn't look like he intended to lay down. It looked like he was walking and he couldn't support his weight anymore and he just fell. So I immediately picked him up and I started petting him and holding him, and I called my vet but obviously because it was so last minute, like, I couldn't get an appointment that day. So I called up my friend Victoria, and I was on FaceTime with her because she also owns small pets, so I was hoping that, like, maybe she would know what to do. And she was, like, giving me different numbers for different vets that could possibly take him that day. But honestly, like, at that point, I wasn't trying to get him to see a vet anymore, just because when I picked him up, his body just felt so limp, and I already knew that he was going to be passing away that day. So instead of wasting time traveling to the vet, I wanted to spend his last few moments with him. So I just kind of held him, and I was petting him. And at first I was begging him not to go. And it was really sad because you could tell that he really didn't want to go, because he was, like, moving his paws and trying to get up, but he couldn't, and it was really sad. And then he started gasping for air, and eventually he ended up passing away in my arms. So he passed away on November 1st, 2021, and I did end up burying him in front of my house, just so that he would be close by, and if I ever wanted to visit him, I could. And that really helped, especially during the first couple of days, because it was really hard, especially because, like, we were so close. And if you watched my Meet the Guinea Pigs video, then you'll know that he was my most social guinea pig, and we did have a very strong bond. But yeah, so I guess that's one way that I deal with it. One thing I will say though is try not to blame yourself. I know that it's very easy to blame yourself when your pet passes away, but even if you do everything right, if you take them to the vet, if you take great care of them, if it's their time to go, then it's their time to go. You can't really do anything about that. And that's something that I struggled with accepting when my last guinea pig, Oreo, passed away. He was very sick, and I took him to the vet, and then I noticed that he wasn't getting any better, so I made him a second vet appointment, which he unfortunately didn't make it to. And I ended up blaming myself because I felt like if I would have made that second appointment sooner, then maybe he would have made it. But honestly, like, the condition he was in, I don't think he would have made it either way. So yeah, so try not to blame yourself, and more importantly, try to remember that you did the best that you could. You gave this animal a home, you loved them, and you cared for them, and you did everything that you could. You tried to give them a good life. And honestly, like, if you keep reminding yourself of that, eventually it will get better and it will get easier. Also, having a really good support system helps. Surrounding yourself with people that you care about and people that care about you. My friends were literally amazing during this entire thing. They were constantly there for me and making me feel better. And honestly, like, they helped me get through this entire thing. So having people that care about you be there for you really helps a lot. And if you have other pets, then make sure to give them a little hug, because they deserve that little extra love that you have left over. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video, and if it ends up helping at least one person, then I'll be happy. And there's going to be a little video montage of Reese's right after this, but that's more for me than anyone else, just as a way to kind of memorialize him. But if you guys want to see that, then feel free to stick around until the end of the video. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Love you. And he still thinks that he's not clean.
He's so fluffy.